2 Christmas ornaments. So here we have a hanging snowman, full 2-sided part. We also have a Christmas tree, again a full 2-sided part. And so these ornaments are created in Aspire. We're going to use 2-sided machining. So let's take a look at the project file.
So let's go and open up the ornaments.crv 3D file. So here we have our snowman and our Christmas tree. Let's tile the windows so you can see both the the 2D and the 3D view. Okay, so here is our snowman, here's the Christmas tree. The way I modelled those, very simple. I just basically drew a vector that represents half of the snowman, so you can see that vector there, and a vector that represents half of the Christmas tree, which is this one here. And I simply went into the modelling tab, used this option here, and we use the option to turn the vector to create the shapes that you can see here. Very simple, very quick and easy to do. Okay, you can see in our modelling tab, I have a plane level here. So we've got a 0 plane in here that has a negative height of 1/8 of an inch, and that's just to ensure that when we come to machine the top side, that our tool drops below 0 to eliminate what could be a cusping effect around the seam of the model. So we're just bringing that down a little bit so we don't have that cusping. Then we have a level here called tabs. So we've got our tabs in place. This is just the tabs that come with the software as part of the free clip art. So we've just put those in place just to ensure that my snowman and tree are held securely to my material block when we come to cut that out. And we've got our vectors here. These circles represent the holes for our dowel pins, which we're going to use to locate our X and Y positions when we come to flip our material over to cut the bottom side. Simple, we just select everything and copied it over to the other side like so. So we've got the exact same on the bottom side. The only thing that I haven't copied over is the 0 plane. That's not needed on the bottom side. We only really need that on one side. Perfect. So in terms of toolpaths, let's switch over to the toolpaths tab. So we've got toolpath here called dowels. Double click on that. It's a basic profile toolpath. We're going to cut 3/4 of an inch of the way down into our block of material using a 1/4 inch end mill on the inside of those vectors. And if we go ahead and preview that, you can see those holes there. These holes are what we'll then put our dowel pins into in order for us to locate the part on the bottom side. So let's go to the 3D roughing toolpath. So we're going to use a large tool just to hog the majority of the material out. So here we're just using a 1/4 inch end mill, and if we go ahead and preview that, you can see how that would look. So you can see all the steps in there. And then we finish that with a smaller tool. In this case, I'm using a 3mm ball nose. And then we could take a look at how that looks. So if we preview that, you can see that part there. Perfect. Take the material off of the machine bed, and then we'll go to the toolpaths on the bottom side. And our first operation here is to take the dowel holes of the bottom side, and we're going to machine those directly into the spoil board. Okay, so using the same profile toolpath here, so we're going to cut 3/4 of an inch of the way into our machine bed on the inside, and that will then create our location holes for when we put our material into the location holes of the bottom side. Okay, if you've not done 2-sided machining before, there are much more detailed tutorials all about this setup that you can find on the support site or on your tutorial browser. So just simply search for 2-sided machining, and you should be able to get a couple of tutorials that will help you out if you're not familiar with 2-sided machining. Okay, so once you've got the dowel holes into the spoil board, we then locate our block of material to those dowel holes, secure the part in place, and then we're just going to run through the 3D roughing, 3D finishing, just like we did on the top side. And ultimately, if we preview all sides, we should have a part that looks like this. Perfect, very easy, very simple to do. So let's have a look at the machining.
Okay, so here we have our ornaments, we've got the Christmas tree and we've got the snowman. So I've detabbed them, given it a sand over so nice and smooth. All we need to do now is look at finishing the part. Let me just quickly go through the purpose of them. So the Christmas tree has a flat bottom, and I've designed this in a way that this is just going to be a stand-up piece. So you could cut a few of these out and have them around your table during Christmas dinner, or just anywhere around the house. And then the snowman, he has a rounded bottom, so he's not going to do too well standing up on his own. And so the purpose of the snowman, we're going to use him as a hanging decoration. So I'm going to take one of these, so it's basically a hook screw, and we're going to screw that into the top hat of our snowman, and then we'll just basically take some string, thread that through, and there we have a hanging snowman ornament. So we'll start with the snowman. So I'm just going to take this and we're just going to drill a hole in the centre. So I'm just going to try and eyeball the centre there, and simply just put drilling straight down. Like so, and then we're just going to take the hook screw and we're simply just going to screw that in place like that. Okay. So something like that, so you can see that's now in place there. And then for both of them, all I'm going to do is just apply some teak oil just to give that a nice shine. So we're just going to go, we'll just get some paper here just to put that down. And then we're going to take that teak oil and I'm simply just going to rub all over it just to give it a nice shine there. So very simple, gives it a nice glossy finish. I have to do a few coats of this, and I mean, this is just one way that you could finish it. There's lots of different ways that you could finish your ornaments yourself. So just going to go brush over there like so, and then we'll just leave that for a few minutes just to dry out. So our oil is now dry. We have our finished decorations. You can see with the snowman, I've attached some string into that hoop, so now we can hang that off our tree. And here we have our finished Christmas tree also that we can put on our table. So if you plan to cut your own versions of these ornaments, please feel free to share that with us on social media using the hashtag #VectricFreeChristmas so that we can see your versions of the projects that we've made.